I was thinking about that. Going back to Sabbath real quick, I wanted to ask you this. So, were you a Sabbath fan before you joined the band?
Not really.
Randy Rhoads, when he joined Ozzy, he said he was never a Sabbath fan either.
No, I wasn't a fan of anybody I played with, really. I liked the music. When I heard the Sabbath album, I thought, wow.
You played with John Lennon. You didn't like him?
No, at the time, I was a kid, yeah.
I know what you said.
I liked him. But Rick Derringer, I was like, I heard of him, and I liked the stuff. And Sabbath, I loved it, but I was more of a Zeppelin fan.
Right. Yeah. So you didn't know Bill Ward at all before you joined the band?
No, I didn't know any.
And so you had you joined Sabbath, you kind of have to go back and listen to that stuff and really hear what he was doing.
Right.
And then when you did you say, this Bill Ward's very distinctive style and the way he plays, and I've talked to him many times, he doesn't really consider himself a drummer, he considers himself more a percussionist.
That's what he
plays around stuff or what have you. So what was your approach to the old songs?
Well, it was a different approach than I would play. I'm more groove oriented, and he's very unique in what he does. And the percussion title is perfect because he plays stuff that normal drummers wouldn't play, or wouldn't hear. So I had to listen to that stuff and go, play those parts that were in those songs. And then some of the parts allowed me to do me, to groove more when it was on the verses on some of the songs that had beats. But then there were all these tom parts and stuff. So it was great for me. It opened up another way of approaching playing,
And it's funny because that you talk about here in Neon. Are you, by the way, there's a big debate about this for years. People have been asking me, are you in the video for Neon Nights or is that Bill?
That's Bill.
Because they really don't ever clearly show the drummer, because maybe they knew Bill was on his way out. I don't know. But Bill, you can hardly see who the drummer is, but people have always debated whether that's you or Bill.
You can tell by the drums.
Oh, right, okay.
So you don't even see Bill much. There's just quick shots of him, but you can see the toms behind Ronnie. You go, that's not my drum set.
Okay, so that's Bill. So that's probably one of the last things he did before he left the band.
Yeah, because they were scheduled to play Denver. The big stadium, the big arena there, McNichols Arena when it was there, and he left. And they were like, they had to cancel the show, and they went back to L.A. And they're trying to find a drummer. So that's when I got the call. So.
And then, of course, you mentioned hearing Neon Nights and being like, wow, that singer, the new Sabbath singer is really good. That, you joining Sabbath would start a long history with you and Ronnie.
Yeah.
Of course, leading into you being in Dio and all that. Did you guys hit it off immediately? Did you have an immediate friendship?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys take to each other, the two Americans in Sabbath, and
even down to a
East
tuna
Coast
fish
guys?
Sandwich. We both love tuna fish sandwiches.
Yeah.
I mean, down to that. Ronnie doesn't eat a lot of exotic food. I didn't at the time, and then so we just got along really good. He's from upstate New York, and we just hit it off. It was like brothers,
Yeah, so it was a natural progression when he left. You went with him and did Dio.
Because when that happened, Tony asked me to stay with Sabbath. And then Ronnie here, I got Ronnie on this side saying, hey, you want to do this with me? And it sounded exciting. Here, greatest singer in rock, new project, and it's in L.A., we both live here. So it was easier for me to make a decision to start with Ronnie.
And I remember in 2006, when Sabbath came back together with Ronnie under the name Heaven and Hell, I flew to England to do a TV shoot for VH1 Classic to announce the reunion of Ronnie and Sabbath under this name Heaven and Hell. And I saw Ronnie the day before in the hotel. We had dinner, we talked, and then the next day we're doing the shoot. And we look at the room where the shoot is, and the whole time they told me I prepped for Bill and Tony and Geezer and Ronnie, and I remember going in that saying, well, I'm imagining this is going to focus kind of on the Dio period, which you recorded 2 of those 3 records at that time, but it's okay. Bill's part of this, cool, And I go in and I'm prepared to talk to Bill and the whole thing, and then the next day, there were 4 chairs down. The next day, I went to the room where we were doing the shoot, and there was 3 chairs. So I said to my producer at the time, I said, hey, we lost a chair in there. Somebody not coming from the band. And they said, Bill's not going to make it. He's not coming for the interview. And And I said, why? And they said, he's staying in the studio working on drum sounds or something, they told us. I said, okay. So it was so the interview ended up being Tony, Ronnie, and Geezer. And during the course of the interview, they said that Bill was busy working on whatever, and that, that it was just the three of them for now. And then the next day, so we do the interview. The whole thing is shot, talking about Bill still being there, part of it, whatever, just not at the shoot. And then the next day, I'm going to the airport in Birmingham to leave. And as we're going, my producer's phone rings, and it's the management of the various parties at the time, and saying that we have to edit around all the talk about Bill because Bill is not going to be a part of it. And then shortly afterwards, we find out, which logic made sense, that you were the guy coming back. Yeah. So how did you get that call? When was it put on your radar?
Well, Wendy called me, Wendy Dio, and she said, listen, Vin, you want to play with the boys again? Who's going to say no? Black Sabbath. Of course, yeah. What's the deal? Well, they're doing the Dio Years record. They got 3 songs ready to go, and Bill, it's not working out, and they want you to come in. I said, okay. So we made a deal. Then, being the jokester, I said, but listen, Wendy, I got to tell you. She goes, what? And we made the deal already. I said, I gained like 300 pounds. She's going, what? I said, I even have to get a drum stool made to hold me. A big, heavy-duty drum stool. And I was really serious. I don't know, it just came in my head. Oh, okay. So what is she going to do? Say, oh, you know what, maybe we should find the skinny guy. So I left it at that, got the airline ticket, flew over, and then I got in the hotel. And
you never gave it up until you showed. So she thought you were showing up.
So did they.
They all thought you were going to walk in as like a 500-pound guy.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
So I didn't give it up. I get to the hotel, so I took a nap. Then they call, hey, you want to come to Tony's house? They were all at Tony's house. He's got a studio. I said, yeah, pick me up. So as I got there, I said, Vinny's here. And they're almost peeking around the corner to see when I walk in what I look like. So I walk in, they go, you bastard! Yeah. It broke the ice like perfect.
Did Ronnie know? Had you seen Ronnie around L.A. or anything?
Not for a couple of years, Not for a couple of years, so it was perfect. I don't know why I did it, but it was hilarious.
That is a ball-busting move, man. That's funny. I'm laughing because last night I saw Wendy here.
I told her that, too. When
you reminded her about it?
Yeah, she was laughing.
I sat down between her and Todd Singerman last night at this seafood restaurant over here. And the minute I sat down, she was literally feeding me French fries all night, like sticking them in my mouth. And what are you trying to fatten me up? And then I'm laughing because I remember the story. You came on one of my radio shows years ago, and I said, Vin, what do you miss most about living in New York? And you said Wise potato chips.
Oh, yeah.
And then since you said that on my show, you said every time you're at gigs, people were bringing you bags of Wise potato chips. Yeah. So they weren't trying to fatten you up.
And then I said devil dogs, right?
Yeah, that's two.
Devil
dogs and Wise potato chips.
I got about 12 boxes of devil dogs when we played Madison Square Garden. and I went, you know what, when we did this, I went into Tony's room with the devil dog and a glass of milk. I said, Tony, you got to try this. Black Sabbath is a perfect cupcake, devil dog. And he tried it and he liked it. This is good. I said, I grew up on this stuff. But it was funny because it's devil dog.
Right. Well, they didn't reach out to you at all? There was no talk about you going into the band on this last run when Clufetos did, right?
No, I think,
because there's more all the Ozzy stuff.
From the albums. Ozzy and I got along great. Ozzy was really cool. And, when I played with them 2000 with Ozzy.
You played with Ozzy?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Bill had a minor medical problem. Like a heart thing or something.
With Sabbath?
Oh, no.
In 1999.
So you played in the Ozzy version of Sabbath?
Yes.
I didn't know that. How many gigs?
About a month in Europe.
That's why I probably wouldn't. I had no idea, though.
Yeah. Because I woke up one day and I said, I'm going to go to Home Depot and fix my sprinklers today. Go get some parts and stuff. Then the phone rings at 7 in the morning. Vinny, hold on for Sharon Osbourne. Okay. Vinny, we want you to fly to England and blah, 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 blah. So I told Sharon, I said, listen, I'm supposed to fix my sprinklers today.
And 600 pounds.
Yeah, I'm bigger than I was in Heaven and Hell. So anyway, long story short, Bill, actually I was on tour with Ronnie, and then they called me, and I went, now what do I do? I'm playing clubs with Ronnie. This is a big thing. It would be, very good for me, So it was a hard decision, but I sat down with Ronnie and explained it, and he goes, yeah, I'm cool with it, Do what you got to do, So I went over and played with them,
I had no idea. I had no idea you had done that.
And the first show, Ozzy introduces me. He introduces the band at some point. So Carmine played with him already. So he goes, and Vinny, a piece on the drums. I go, oh, shit. All right. So the next day at the hotel in the morning, we're leaving. I go, hey, Oz, it's Carmine's a piece. I'm Appice. He goes, oh, confused. Yeah.
But it's confusing if you're not even Ozzy. So.
Yeah. So the next night we play, and he turns around at me. He goes, I'm Vinny. He's all concerned and worried. Vinny, Appice on the drums. And he's like looking for acknowledgement that it was correct. I went, it was kind of cute that the Prince of Darkness is concerned about my name.
Right. The fact you guys pronounce it differently.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was so confused about it, I could just see the stammer, like, oh.
And then the first show we played, we rehearsed in Wales, and he didn't rehearse with us. Jeff Nichols sang, to get us through the songs. He was there, but Ozzy didn't play with us. And then we sat down production-wise, said, Ozzy's going to go here, you're going to go on this thing, and it's going to bring you up on the stage, and it's going to be pyro, all this stuff. Okay, fine. In the first show, I'm warming up in the dressing room. 50,000 people were nervous because I haven't played those songs, nor has Tony and Geezer in a while. It's, Wizard and all this other stuff. And then Ozzy bursts into my room with the makeup on, the black under his goes, Vinny, where do I go? I go, you're asking me? But the way he looked, I'm going, look at him, he's crazy. I said, let's go find the tour manager, the production manager, find out where you need to be,
Right.
He didn't pay attention.
Right.
So it was pretty funny. But he was fun. It was